Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to new episode of Jash Reads. Today we are finally beginning the first chapter of Animorphs number 12, The Reaction by K.A. Applegate. Oh, that's notice Black Agent said, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your username. Glad you're still doing these. Hope you've been good, fam, and have a dope weekend. Yeah, I'm still doing these videos. Just long break with the vertigo until I could figure out how exactly I was going to, you know, if I could still continue doing these videos, and if so, how I could. So, yeah, it's been a while. And yeah, I've been doing good. And I'm going to be having a dope weekend. I'm going to be seeing Amsterdam tomorrow. I would have seen it today, but I wanted to get this, video out. So yeah. So yeah. And this video was actually delayed for a little bit because Hurricane Ian came my way last week, and don't worry, all I got was a bunch of wind, a bunch of rain. It was down to category 1 once it hit me. And we didn't lose power. It flickered on and off. Like it just go off and it'd be like, oh my god, let's get the flashlights, make sure everything's okay, and then it'd come on like 3 seconds later. And it did that for maybe half an hour at most. It was fun. And I'm really grateful that it didn't flood around my house because I can deal with losing power for a few hours or like a week, but flooding causes just way too much damage. And before I get started doing the dramatic reading today, just announcing to all those who haven't heard, the latest Animorphs graphic novel adaptation is out. I got it the day of, and luckily it can't. They were able to deliver it with no problems, and so yeah. So far, it's been a good ride. Just I can understand the Alpha Wolf change because for those who don't know, the Alpha Wolf thing is a myth. The man who coined the term has even disregarded it. So I don't mind that was changed for the graphic novel because these books sort of help, young people learn about different animals. It's just the way Marco acquires a female wolf is just because they changed the alpha wolf thing, but they still want, the great dialogue from later on in the chapter. But problem is, he's done this smart character ignores every piece of evidence that he's acquiring a female wolf. So it's like, really? But besides that, like, small, tiny nitpick, it's really good. And if you haven't yet gotten your own copy, I would highly suggest it. Uh, and let's begin. My name is Rachel. I won't tell you my last name or where I'm from. Here's what I can tell you about myself. I'm tall for my age. Maybe tall for any age. I have blonde hair. I like gymnastics, shopping, and a good fight with bad guys. Not necessarily in that order. People say I'm pretty, and I guess I'm okay. People say I'm self confident, and I know that's true. My closest friends think I'm fearless. They're wrong about that. People without fear are just insane. I have plenty of fear in my life. Some days I feel afraid from the minute I wake up in the morning till my last nightmare at night. But the thing about fear is you can't be afraid of it. I know that sounds confusing. I guess what I mean is be afraid if you have to, right? Fear is like this vicious little worm that lives inside you and eats you alive. You have to fight it. You have to know it's there. You have to accept that you'll never get rid of it, but fight it just the same. Brave isn't about not being afraid. It's about being scared to death and still not giving in. That's all any of us do. Any of us animorphs. We just try not to give in. And in the middle of it all, in the middle of all the danger and betrayal and fear, we try to hold on to what's normal and good. Have to keep up with the homework, have to be ready for that pop quiz, have to still listen to music and watch TV and maybe go to a movie. You know what I mean? When you live in an insane world, you have to hold on to the little things. There are six of us, five humans, one not so human. There's me, there's Jake, my more responsible cousin, Marco, my personal pain in the butt, Cassie, my best friend forever, Tobias, who was our first casualty, trapped forever in the body of a hawk, and Axe, the only Andalite to survive their mission to Earth. It all began with an innocent walk through an abandoned construction site at night. The five of us, minus Axe, were minding our own business, heading home from the mall. No one was thinking, hey, let's get ourselves in the middle of an interstellar war. I just wanted to get home, do all those normal things, maybe watch TV, check out some websites, listen to a favorite CD, do my homework, whatever, normal stuff. But the damaged Andalite fighter landed right in front of us. And from that point on, nothing was normal again. God, I hate when your nose just itches in the most inopportune time. God. Drinking coffee today just because I've been yawning today and I don't want to ruin this dramatic reading by just yawning every 2 seconds. That would not be professional. We are not alone in this universe. There are billions of stars and billions of planets. And on some of those planets, life arose like it did here on good old Earth. On some of those planets, highly intelligent life evolved, just like Homo sapiens. Humans evolved here. Out there in the stars, there are races like the Elmists who are so advanced they make humans look as dumb as cows. Then there are races like the Andalites, more advanced than us. You know, like a 10th grader is more advanced than an 8th grader, but still in the same zone of reality. And there are races like the Hork-Bajir, razor-bladed killing machines that everyone says used to be rather sweet. And the taxons. Well, what can you say about the taxons? Huge cannibalistic centipedes. Not exactly the good guys of the galaxy. Not exactly nice. And then there are the Yerks. The Yerks who enslaved the Hork-Bajir. The Yerks who made a devil's deal with the taxons. The Yerks who spread throughout the galaxy like a virus, attacking one race after another, enslaving, destroying. They are parasites, Just gray slugs, really. In their natural state, you could step on one and squash it like a snail without its shell. But Yerks have the ability to infest other species, to crawl and slither and squirm inside their heads. They flatten their bodies out and wrap themselves around the brain, sinking into every crevice. They tie into the brain. They take over the brain and enslave the poor creature, making it a controller. They did this to Hork-Bajir and Geds and Taxons. All Hork-Bajir and Taxons and Geds are controllers. They've even done it to one Andalite, but only one, luckily. And they are doing it to humans. Hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of humans. Some controllers are taken against their will. Others, believe it or not, become controllers voluntarily. That's always been the thing that made me maddest. Anyone can lose a battle, but to choose to surrender, to become a traitor, that's just sick. The Yerks have a front organization they call the Sharing. It's supposed to be like some kind of Boy Scouts or something, except that they take girls as well as boys and adults as well as kids. Supposedly, it's this big family thing. You know, cookouts and rafting trips, and everyone just one big happy family. Except that the reality is the Sharing is run by the Yerks. They use it to learn about human society. They use it to disguise their meetings. And they use it to recruit new members. I always wondered what lies they told people to get them to agree to become controllers. Now I know. At least I know what it took to get one person to betray his entire planet. I guess he betrayed me personally, too. In a way, not that he knew me. There were probably a million girls like me with crushes on him. I know what you're thinking. Rachel has a crush? Rachel? The person Marco calls Xena, warrior princess? Well, what can I say? Cute is cute. And cuteness is a very powerful force. And he was the cutest of all cute guys that ever showed a dimple. It was a shame I had to do what I did to him. It hurt me as much as it hurt him. Well, maybe not quite as much. But we'll get to all that grisly stuff later. I'll start at the beginning. Oddly enough, it all started at the zoo. And in chapter. Was almost about to go in scene. So each Animorph book, as you've noticed by this time, hopefully, because that would mean you either read the series or have watched all my previous videos. And I don't really mind these first chapters, and I know their purpose is so that you can jump into the series at any point and understand basically what's going on. But this introductory chapter was a little more lackluster than others. I prefer when the intro chapters have something going on and just sort of segues in, or it starts with a recap and then, it goes into something interesting. And it does give a good little setup for later. Like, it builds up intrigue of what did he do to betray her? What things is she referring to? Like, it sets up a lot of intrigue, but it's definitely, I think, one of the weaker introductory chapters. And one of the things I really like that was stated in this chapter is the thing about bravery, which is honestly some words to live by. Brave isn't about not being afraid, it's about being scared to death and still not giving in. Because, yeah, that's bravery. And now I'm remembered of that line in the original Lion King where Mufasa tells Simba basically the same thing. And Simba's like, you always seem so fearless. And then he says, I'm afraid, but you do the thing anyways. So that's definitely words to live by right there. And I do like how Rachel admits, she's not fearless, she's not all gung ho and thinking she can do everything. She's very much a human. And some of the ghostwriters, especially the ghostwriter for Animorphs number 37, one of my least favorite, one of my few hated books in the series, sort of forgets that and makes her all gung ho and forgets any of the nuances of her characters because she's very much human. She can very much feel fear. It's just she goes through it. Yeah. Not really much to talk about the chapter otherwise. So, my question for this video, for you to answer in the comments sections down below is, let's see. I don't want to ask a question that would make people, reveal spoilers for this book because for my Jash Read series, I like to do spoiler free because this whole series is about discovering or rediscovering, Animorphs, and don't want to ruin things for people who haven't read it before. So I was going to ask for like predicting, what Rachel is talking about, but that just seems like it's going to lead to trouble. So instead, I will ask, who was your first fictional crush? You know, Mine was actually Tobias from Animorphs, and the guy they had play him in the Animorphs TV series, that guy was hot. I remember watching like the show adaptation is shit, but damn. So yeah. Okay, so realize I've not much left to discuss, and I'm just getting lost in memories. But anyways, if you have watched this video and you're like, hey, where can I get my very own copy of Animorphs number 12, The Reaction by K.A. Applegate? Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, Patreon, or my blog, link down below to where you can buy the book. And the book is an Amazon Associates link, so I'll get paid a little, as will the original writers. Like K.A. Applegate will be paid this way. Scholastic will see that there's still interest in this series. And, yeah. And again, because I didn't actually, not again, because I didn't clearly state this before, this dramatic reading of Animorphs is to have people discover or rediscover Animorphs. So, no spoilers in the comments section. Like elsewhere, I don't mind spoilers, but I just want to keep it free of spoilers for newcomers. And talking about, where I will discuss spoilers on Twitter. If you want to send me a tweet, talking about Animorphs, please remember, if you don't want spoilers, to, say that in your tweet, because on Twitter, I'm open to discuss anything and everything. Animorphs. And my Twitter is Jashikins. If you're on the YouTube's, link in the description, as well as other links that will be in the description on YouTube. I have a Patreon. If you've longtime view and you're like, hey, how can I help support, Jash doing what she does? Ta-da! And I am writing my own original series, Kafka's Men. It's a grimdark superhero reverse harem series. And I am currently halfway through writing the 5th book. And it's been a little adventure there because we're switching from Kafka's view to Blaine's point of view. I mean, I love in, romance stories where you can see the points of view of, everyone involved, because it just makes everything, I don't know, so much sweeter. So there are multiple points of view. And Blaine is a dark character. So to get inside his mind space, I mean, when I do a first person point of view, I really go in there. So I'm like, dude, what the heck? What the hell? So yeah. And if you notice, this video did not have a sponsor. But if you're wondering how you could become a sponsor, I mean, you have to have a book you're wanting to promote. Go on YouTube, go down into the description, and you find a link to become a sponsor. And what you do is you order the book promotion gig and you choose the YouTube option. So can't wait to see who wants to be promoted on here next. And I hope all of you have a safe, good weekend. I'm going to be seeing Amsterdam tomorrow. The cast looks good, so I'm really hopeful. And I don't know what else I'll do. After I'm done filming this, I'm going to be watching The Rings of Power, which I am highly enjoying. And then Sundays, the next episode of House of the Dragon, which I will actually be watching on Monday. And hopefully House of the Dragon will have all its lighting issues done. I might make a vlog someday about lighting, because it's important, and they messed it up in the latest episode, and people are right to complain. And I could go on for a long time about that, but I won't, because that's not the point of this video. And I hope you all have a good weekend. Stay safe. Bye.